Alright guys, how's it going? Another video here on the jail channel, CDL Talk with Tunn. And this isn't a video I was planning on making, but I just feel as if it's worth inputting on this one and getting the opinion across of somebody who's sort of kind of been there throughout the highs and lows of European Call of Duty. First and foremost, if you didn't see the video, this is basically how all of this stemmed last night. There was an argument between EU challengers, NA challengers, NA talent, such as everybody on the video and everybody else. A lot of people jumped in. Let's listen to the video first so you know exactly what went down and what transpired and how it transpired. So this is a clip from DeSoto's new show, The Reverse Sweep, with Katie Bedford, Pac-Man, and of course, Nibble. Where they were discussing Hydra, I believe, after a poor performance from him specifically on the Elite Challenger side of things in North America. Of course, he moved over, so he's on the Subliners Academy team now. Didn't play the best he's ever played. To delve into that a little bit, he's on a different role at the moment. He played okay, but look, the Subliners team hasn't worked out. It's a new squad. I don't know. I think you maybe don't read into it too deeply, but let's play the clip so you know what I'm talking about.
But it's just a fact of the Call of Duty scene. He's playing European Challengers. So maybe
different game.
Maybe if he was playing in NA Challengers and absolutely destroying, you just say,
easier
you
decision.
know what?
Yeah,
we're gonna do this.
It's a lot more clear.
We're gonna do this. It's a lot more clear cut. I mean, Josh just won the Challengers Championship. He quit the year before. Yeah, he just won the in Europe. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just a different. They're just more next level talent in NA, and that's just based on the Call of Duty. But
so I think this starts from quite a while back, really. We'll go into some of the tweets shortly, but like, I mean, I went through COD Gamepedia because obviously, I mean, for me, I was at the very first Call of Duty Championships, which was like Black Ops 2, so outside of XP, of course. And for me, obviously, you know, Europe, it never used to go well for Europeans. And I'm not going to delve in every single event, but basically back here, like, you know, top 16, top 12 for a team going over, there would only ever be a couple, was really an achievement. To even just get to the groups was an achievement. But this is the champs from 2014, so on Ghost specifically. You can see, I mean, there's not a great deal. Okay, Sublime, Colga and all the boys, and Power 25 and top 32, Orbit top 24, and look, I mean, Epsilon finishing top 12. Like this is like back in 2014. This was kind of like, okay, yeah, that's all right. You know, like, they did okay. We'll continue through some of this as well. Okay, so then you look at this one. So this specifically to 2015, things are, well, getting better across the board. Mind Freak making it into the top 6. But other than that, look, I mean, not going fantastically for Aware GT, Joe, Petey, Watson, all in there for Aware Gaming. Other than that, though, top of my head, can't actually see anybody European. You know, this is where this sort of stems from. Let's continue. Where's this over to 2016? Okay, I think this is where things obviously got a lot better. Splice going in there, and this is kind of when it started to turn a little bit, where the Europeans started to get a bit more involved. That high-level European talent making it onto the top teams. This is kind of where things started to turn a little bit in terms of the higher level. Looking towards, we'll get into this in a second, but looking at it now over the past couple of years, the EU Challenger scene has kind of really been there as high as the NA side of things, and I think, and you know, I'll defend Pac-Man in the sense that I think there's in the range of talent across the board. Yes, okay, there is more good American talent, but I think it's quite, you can't deny the fact that it hasn't really been the NA side of things at the top for a while in terms of challenger side of things, at least anyway. I mean, let's just run through some of the results. Okay, so Anaheim Open 2019, so this would have been, of course, on Black Ops 4. Mind Freak at the top, Vodafone Giants in there as well. Okay, yeah, you got some good players there, but people who have realistically, you know, used the franchise league, like, there is some very, very good players in here. Vodafone Giants, Toho, Yaki, Brian, Super, like, I mean, those come in top 3. That was some achievement. Looking in and around, okay, this wasn't the best event for EU challengers, but then London Open again. I mean, it's top 2 again, and look, there is some good NA talent here on the challenger side of things. What you've got guys like Fastballer, all these guys who were doing pretty well throughout the year. You got Singularity, you know, there was more Europeans at this event. We'll maybe not delve into that one too much. The amateur finals, I mean, most of the year was really all about, towards the back end at least anyway, the EU and the Australian challengers. Obviously, I mean, in this case, as far as I'm aware, yeah, They didn't actually make it out this time. What was it? It was some stupid placement. I can't even see them. Anyway, besides the point, the Australians didn't do good at this event, I remember specifically. But look at this, top 2 teams again. The boys, Team War, very, very good in Black Ops 4. And looking towards things, obviously, towards the Call of Duty champs. Which is where, I mean, this is the telling one for me, because... What? So the Pro League team, 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 Pro League team. That's it. But then you look outside of that, and who else is in there? Who else is in here? EU Challenger team, or EU Amateur team at the time. EU Amateur team, EU Amateur team, EU Amateur team. No? Pro team, Pro team, Pro team, EU Amateur team. Again, what more? I mean, this is the next kind of just one of the first NA Challenger teams that was even in and around things when it comes towards the back end of the year, when it comes towards Black Ops 4. Yes, okay, look, I mean, a lot of them dropped out here. Obviously, didn't expect some teams like Gen G, etc., to drop out, but I mean, Black Ops 4 was irrefutable. I mean, it was the EU Challenger teams were the better teams. Like, we'll keep going. I mean, this is way back. Actually, this is the same year. I obviously hadn't organised this very well. This was the only time in Black Ops 4 that we really seen the Challenger American team, the American Challenger teams really do a great deal. And well, franchise team last year, but still doing well. Franchise, I mean, possibly the best player on the game, one of the best players on the game. So these guys have moved on and went further. But I think I'll finish what I was going to say here, though. But I have a point about this. Again, this is launch weekend. Singularity, Team 1, as far as I'm aware, Team 1 probably should have went on to do maybe a little bit further on that one, as Vortex was very, very unwell. But again, 2 out of the top 3. Keep changing monitors. But then, I don't know, I just feel like the evidence is there for the EU challengers to say that they have been the best. And this is them when it came into it. SG went NA challengers and won, came back home, and were getting top 6 until a roster change was made. So the point that Defrag is making here is that Singularity went over. They were doing very, very well with their roster, and there's a lot of conversation about it being online, etc., etc. Yeah, okay, but more to the point, is that really just it? They're obviously still a good team, but besides the point here, that look, they were still doing well. Yes, okay, look, and again, I don't think the disrespect on Josh was necessarily needed from Pac-Man. I'm going to say, I really like Pac-Man. I've worked with him loads of times, and I get along with him well, but I don't agree with that in the sense that Josh is obviously still offers a lot to a team. But then, obviously, we went into this whole spiel. It kind of just continued on, and then, I mean, you've all seen the tweets. But I think this boils down to what something Brycey and Madcat were saying, the future of EU COD in terms of the Challenger teams making that step is possibly why we see the EU Challenger scene at the higher end be maybe of a higher skill ceiling. And I think that's mostly because of a lot of the EU Challengers side of things. They're not in the spotlight as much, or it's not as easy for them to make it up to that next level, which is the franchise side of things. So ultimately, the top side of Europe is a concentration of talent that arguably would do very, very well, of course, in the franchise league, but they've been stopped by the fact that it's mostly ran over in America, and it's just harder for EU players to sort of get that recognition because of, well, things like this. I feel as if, to a certain degree, NA Call of Duty still thinks we're here a little bit. NA Call of Duty still thinks we're in and around this area still. We're not there anymore. These EU Challenger teams very, very recently have played very well and placed very well. I think, this year you really can't say otherwise. And I was having this conversation privately with some of the other talent, sort of say, like, there is nothing to prove otherwise who is better this year. And it doesn't really matter because it's all online. You're all in within your own ecosystem. It doesn't really make too much of a difference, but we've seen Hydra come over. I have no doubt he will go on to do well. He's a talented player. But that's besides the point, because we're not going to get to see this and sort of prove this, that the EU teams do sort of belong at the top. And you will say that there's some bias on my side, and there very well maybe. But I just think that it's a disappointing take. And I feel as if that this is sort of like, and this is what a lot of the players said, and I agree with, in the fact that this is the kind of thing that does not help these EU players get out into franchise squads. There's the concentration at the top because they're not given the opportunity because they're European, and that is just kind of my opinion on that one. And let me know what you think. I think, there was a lot of conversation in and around it. You can go through all the tweets, etc., but I think it ultimately boils down to the fact that it's hard for European players to get on those franchise teams because of the fact that they're in Europe, and they're just not seen as being as solid because of maybe opinions like this. I don't know. I don't want to delve too hard onto the side of these guys who, I respect them all, and I think it, like, in the sense of Enable's never had to really deal with EU challenges for a certain amount of time, as he has kind of been in that franchise, that franchise and pro league kind of bubble, like protected from it to a certain degree in the sense that he hasn't had to play them. Pac-Man didn't really have the chance to watch the challenger side of things, and neither did Katie, because they were mainly obviously on the main broadcast. So I just think that it's a bad take, and I don't agree with it. And I feel as if the EU challengers really has been there. The top level is very, very strong, and hopefully we get back to events so that the EU challengers can keep providing the proof that they are very much there. With the NA side of things, I think the range of high level talent is longer, and it is a bigger range, but at the very top, I think the concentration of good European players is what's making the difference there, and I think it will make the difference in the future when we do see it, hopefully soon. Let me know what you think of the whole situation. Leave a comment below. For me, I think the take was wrong, but let me know what you think below of my take on it, and what you think of the guys on the show. Anyway, please leave a like, subscribe if you can, and comment on the video as mentioned below what you think of what went on, and we will see you guys for the next video.